Welcome back to the AI Daily Brief Headlines Edition, all the daily AI news you need in around 5 minutes. After much speculation, it appears that Google has won the contract to power Apple's AI version of Siri. According to new reporting from Bloomberg, Apple has signed a $1 billion a year deal with Google to license their models to use as Siri's new brain. Bloomberg's Apple insider Mark Gurman reports that Google will provide a 1.2 trillion parameter model, which is a custom version of Gemini. Gurman wrote that this would, quote, dwarf the level of Apple's current models, which are only 150 billion parameters in size. Presumably, this clears a major blocker and puts Apple in a strong position to release a new version of Siri as scheduled next spring. The Gemini model will power Siri's summarizer and planner functions, which synthesize information and execute agentic tasks. Apple's models will continue to drive some minor Siri features, and the entire process will run on Apple's private cloud servers to ensure that user data is completely segregated from Google. Apple has in fact already allocated infrastructure in anticipation of release. Gurman said that the deal won't be widely publicized, with Apple preferring to keep Google as a behind-the-scenes partner. The deal also won't extend to integrating Gemini into Siri as a chatbot, nor will it include Google's AI search being added to Apple's operating system. Gurman noted, Apple still doesn't want to use Gemini as a long-term solution. Despite the company bleeding AI talent, including the head of its models team, management intends to keep developing new AI technology and hopes to eventually replace Gemini with an in-house solution. In service of that goal, Apple is continuing to train a trillion parameter model that they hope to use to power consumer applications by next year. Barely AI pointed out the same thing that many noticed when it comes to the state of play in this space: Google getting Apple to pay it $1 billion a year for Gemini to power Siri after Google had to pay Apple $20 billion a year for distribution to be the default search on iPhone Safari browser. Ahmed is investing, meanwhile, just pointed out that this is yet another indication of Google's absolutely monster year. Moving over to OpenAI land, 1 million enterprises are now using ChatGPT. Back in 2022, ChatGPT became the fastest growing consumer tech product in history, reaching 1 million users in just 5 days and 100 million in 5 weeks. And now ChatGPT appears to be the fastest growing business software platform in history as well. ChatGPT Work seats are up 40% in 2 months to reach 7 million, while ChatGPT Enterprise seats are up 9x year over year. Go-to-market leader Maggie Hott wrote, "When I joined OpenAI a little over 2.5 years ago, ChatGPT Enterprise wasn't even built yet. It was just an idea. An idea that the world's most powerful technology could also be the most useful if we built the right bridge between innovation and impact." Today, more than 1 million businesses around the world are using OpenAI's products, making OpenAI the fastest growing business platform in history. Alongside the milestone, OpenAI shared some stats around ROI. They said that use of Codex as a coding agent is up 10x since August, with companies including Cisco seeing a 50% reduction in code review times, cutting project timelines from weeks to days. Carlyle Group reports that agent development time has been cut in half using AgentKit, while accuracy has increased by 30%. Indeed is reporting a 20% increase in applications since the introduction of their AI-driven invite to apply feature, alongside a 13% boost in hirings. One of the big reasons that I don't think that the enormous projections of these companies are as outlandish as they appear to some is just how much we're still scratching the surface of the eventual total surface area of enterprise usage. Over in funding world, the gold rush for vertical AI startups continues, as Decagon is rumored to be raising at a valuation north of $4 billion. The information reports that Decagon, which is an AI customer support startup, is in talks for fundraising that could see the startup valued as high as $5 billion. They last raised in May, achieving a $1.5 billion valuation, so this is yet another app layer AI company that has seen their valuation more than double in a matter of 6 months. The report stated that they're now generating, quote, significantly more than $30 million in ARR, which is up from $10 million last year. Now, in addition to this showing that there is continued appetite for private financing at high valuations, I think it's also part and parcel of the continued significance and maybe even growing significance of the app layer of AI. Another funding story from a slightly different part of the industry, data center startup Crusoe is working on a secondary sale that would value that company at $13 billion. Crusoe is one of OpenAI's major infrastructure partners, handling the construction and GPU deployment of the Stargate facility in Abilene, Texas. The information reports the tender offer would see $120 million worth of liquidity offered to employees. The rumored $13 billion valuation is a 30% bump from an equity funding round that closed just weeks ago, according to sources familiar with the deal. Finally today, let's end on an ambitious note. Google has announced a new moonshot project to put data centers in space. CEO Sundar Pichai tweeted on Wednesday, "Our TPUs are headed to space. Inspired by our history of moonshots from quantum computing to autonomous driving, Suncatcher is exploring how we could one day build scalable ML compute systems in space, harnessing more of the sun's power which emits more power than 100 trillion times humanity's total electricity production. Like any moonshot, it's going to require us to solve a lot of complex engineering challenges. Early research shows our Trillium-generated TPUs survived without damage when tested in a particle accelerator to simulate low Earth orbit levels of radiation. However, significant challenges still remain, like thermal management and on-orbit system reliability. More testing and breakthroughs will be needed as we count down to launch 2 prototype satellites by early 2027. Google researcher Travis Beals wrote in a blog post, "In the future, space may be the best place to scale AI compute. This approach would have tremendous potential for scale and also minimizes impact on terrestrial resources." Now, at the moment, the cost of launching a space data center is a significant blocker, but Google sees the cost converging to become roughly comparable to a terrestrial data center by the mid-2030s. Google is planning to partner with a company called Planet on prototype satellites by 2027 to ensure their hardware can handle the increased radiation of space. Now, whether you think this is the AI industry completely jumping the shark, or you see it as exactly the sort of big ambition that gets you excited about technology in the first place, is a question that each person will have to answer for themselves. For now, that's going to do it for the AI Daily Brief Headlines edition. Next up, the main episode.